would you first of all introduce yourself?
Hey, what's up? I'm Kraig, the Squirrel Tyler from the infamous punk rock hip hop band Crazy Town.
First thing you came in, I couldn't help noticing you have a minor threat badge on your trousers.
Absolutely.
Kind of like out of your league.
Oh, no. That's part of what got me to here.
So how do you get here?
How do you get here? I don't know. Hopefully you have a decent taste in music growing up. And then you, at the same time, were learning how to play and learning how to, try to make records. And then it's all those influences that led you to make whatever music you end up making.
Cool. In comes
Mr. Bradley?
How you doing? Pleased to meet you.
They call me Hota Behota in Madrid, Spain.
Okay. Okay, please take your seat.
Yes.
You guys went to Berlin yesterday, right?
Yes.
Did some press, or?
Home away from home for us. It's our fifth time in Germany in the past 2 years. I guess, 2 years since '99, and it's always great to be there.
You guys must have traveled the globe for like a couple of times now, right?
Yeah, we've been around. It's, I wish we had more time to see some places, but fortunately some of these places we've gone to a bunch of times, so we've actually gotten to see them a little bit. But it's kind of like, you're kind of getting paid to take trips that somebody would gladly pay. And let's say, like if someone said, oh, honey, let's go to Spain, Portugal, London, Berlin, Amsterdam, and Cologne this spring. You know what I mean? I think most people would really like to do that. Yeah. That's what we do. But, we do work the whole time.
So what does that mean?
What does it mean?
I mean, you don't get to see any fancy tourist stuff, right?
Not really. Not usually. Like, especially when we do these promotional tours, we're trying to reach as many people as possible in a very limited amount of time. We just got off a 5-week headlining tour of the States, flew directly from the last day of that tour to Spain. We're working when we got there. We haven't had a day off since. Because we're only here for, how long was this trip?
This is a 10-day promotional tour.
Jesus.
So, we're not going to be able to come back here until the fall. So you got to make the most of your time and seize, whatever opportunities that we're given.
Before the tape was rolling, you were telling me that you used to live in New York, right?
Mm-hmm. Why?
Why did you live there? I mean, why did you move to L.A.?
Why did I move to L.A.? Well, it just seemed like, we were having a hard time breaking bands out of New York. We were doing stuff that was really cool, and we were, touring and doing things that were nationwide, but not really breaking them. And I was in another band called 16 Volt, and the singer lived in Portland, Oregon. The bass player lived in Texas. The drummer lived in San Francisco, and I lived in New York. We'd met through other bands, and we would go and do a tour, and we'd all go to Portland, rehearse twice, and go on the road. And we would bounce tapes back and forth to one another to make records. So we decided, okay, look, we all need to move to the same place, so where's it going to be? And it was either San Francisco or L.A. And I love San Francisco as a place to hang out, but if I was going to make a career-based move, L.A. was the place. It's the epicenter of, of music in general in the United States.
Yeah, because you also told me that in New York it's easy to be a band and be a hip, but if you're getting a bit bigger, the people from New York turn your back on you because you're not cool anymore, right?
Yeah, they're not going to help you get all the way there. If you're big in New York, people in New York don't understand why you need to do anything more than that. You're big in New York. It's New York. It's the capital of the world. But once you start to really try to go beyond there, beyond just touring and trying to do something, really try to go there, New York will definitely turn its back on you. And then if you make it to the other side, which very, very few bands have, then they'll all come back. Well, we've been here since day one.
Right.
But in the meantime, they're like, oh, you want to go out there? Because there's something about New York. It's like, about not drawing too much attention to yourself and just the way New York kind of handles itself, that when you go there, everyone's in New York. It's like, sell out. Until, it works, and then they're like, oh, killer. You know what I mean? But my friends in New York still give me shit.
So, because their band doesn't do as well as your band, right?
No, they just give me a little shit. They call me LA guy. I have a New York City profile on my cell phone. A cell phone is totally not a cool thing to have in New York. It's like, why are you so important that you need to have a phone on? And so I have the New York City profile on my cell phone. It only rings once, so I can sit there and go, wasn't me.
Hey, I was already mentioning your Minor Threat badge. There's a Cure. You have a Depeche Mode, Black Flag badge, and trouser. That's a different styles of music, right?
Yeah, well, we all like a variety of styles of music. None of us ever listened exclusively to one form of music, but the one form of music that we all definitely listen to and still listen to is hip-hop music. But there's been a variety of things that we all grew up listening to and grew up playing that kind of got us to this point in time. But, for me personally, like I was saying in like 91, the first person who manages to cross over hip-hop and be it hardcore, whatever you want to call it, and manages to do it in a way that hip-hop kids feel it. Not just the rock kids, but do it in a way that hip-hop kids feel it. I said, that's the monster crossover. And then the Judgment Night soundtrack came out, and I was like, whoa, this is kind of it. But that was kind of a novelty thing. For me, that's kind of like what I've been looking to do for a really long time.
Yeah, a lot of people did actually, but I think it's very hard to make the crossover complete because, if you use sampled beats, it's very hard to get like the metal feel, the rock feel into the music. But if you play live drums all the time, you don't get the hip-hop feel into your music.
But it's kind of how we've managed to do what we're doing speaks a lot for the individual backgrounds. It's like JBJ, drummed on the Beastie Boys' Check Your Head record. Epic is a hip-hop producer. I used to make industrial music, which is just a kind of like white boy form of hip-hop, and if you combine those elements, then you can kind of, try to get to what we're trying to do. Like, we want to make music that hip-hop people feel as dope hip-hop music, and in the States that's happening, and around the world it's starting to happen, and that's a harder challenge than making whatever style music and getting to the rock audience. For us, it's to be able to do both.
So you guys have massive roots, right?
Yeah, we do. I can remember my first time coming to Amsterdam, actually playing here, which was over, I'm going to say, believe it or not, 20 years ago, with Chuck Mangione. I was here most recently in 1992 with the Beastie Boys on the Check Your Head summer tour. We actually stayed at this hotel. So I'm kind of I grew up in that era, and being a drummer and playing. My roots are, from jazz, but branched into, R&B, rock, love rock. Played at some rock bands, worked with some people. So that's what I'm a rocker and a hip hopper. That's what I bring to the table. But it's like, it's real. It's not, it's not fake. And because I remember how those albums were recorded, and some of my friends played on those albums. And all the X generation are sampling. So that's my foot in the.
I saw the Beastie Boys play the Paradiso, the Check Your Head tour. Yeah. And the thing struck me is that music was each time so far ahead that there were like hip hop kids standing like this when they played a punk song, when you play a punk song, and the punk guys were getting out of their head when they played a punk song, but then they were like silent when the hip hop song started. Right. The people really didn't get it at that time. Yeah,
I was playing percussion. Mike D was actually my drum student at that time. I was a fan of, I love punk. Bad Brains and. Minor Threat, Black Flag. I'm a fan of all those bands too. But I got a kick out. I enjoyed it, But it's funny you said that because that's what was going on then. That was '92, And
now you guys are playing for a massive audience and selling like double platinum records.